Not all sleeping bags and sleeping pads are made equal. Sleeping bags have different temperature ratings, and the pad isn't just there to keep you comfortable from the hard ground. Most sleeping bags have 3 different temperature ratings. They have a comfort rating, a limit rating, and an extreme rating. The comfort rating is the only thing that you really need to pay attention to. If the temperature you're going to be sleeping in doesn't fall below this comfort rating, you should have a decent night's sleep. But bear in mind, everyone sleeps differently, so you may feel the cold a little bit, or you may be too warm. And it's much easier to stick an arm or a leg out if you're a little bit warm than it is to try and warm up if your bag's not up to the job. But the sleeping bag is only half of the story. So this one has got a comfort rating of -3 degrees. But the insulation on the back of the sleeping pad gets squashed, so that offers you no protection really from the ground. And that is where your sleeping pad comes into play. Although this sleeping pad is really comfortable, it's got no insulation inside of it. So if I was to sleep at 0 degrees with this system, the cold ground would chill the air inside this pad, and I'd get cold from underneath. And that would mean a miserable night's camping. But the good news is you can get sleeping pads that are insulated. And a bit like the comfort rating on a sleeping bag, sleeping pads, they have something called an R value. So basically the higher the R value of the pad, the more insulation it has. So therefore you can sleep in colder temperatures. So although this pad doesn't have any insulation, the manufacturer does claim that it has an R value of 1.6 and comfortable down to 2 degrees Celsius. You sometimes get sucked in and believe everything that manufacturers say when it comes to temperature ratings, how waterproof or breathable that a product is. But fear not, there are some standards in place. So this sleeping bag is EN rated, which means that the product has been made to a standard and it's also been tested. So it should do what it says on the tin. So this bag should keep you comfortable to -3 degrees. But as I said earlier, we do all sleep a little bit differently. So, we've got to take that with a little pinch of salt. There is also an approved standard for sleeping pads. That particular standard is an ASTM R value. Most of the leading manufacturers like Thermarest, Cedar Summit, they produce sleeping pads to within this standard. So you can pretty much guarantee that the R value that they state is the R value that you're going to get. So some of the cheaper pads like this Trekology don't have an ASTM R value. This means that the pad hasn't been tested to approved standards, and the R value that they've given this pad has probably been plucked from thin air. So there's no law that says that any manufacturer has to have these EN ratings or the ASTMR values. And I've tested this pad in different temperatures, and it definitely does not keep you comfortable at 2 degrees. So be really careful when it comes to buying sleeping bags and sleeping pads, because unless they are manufactured to an approved standard, then more than likely the temperature rating that they're claiming is going to be inaccurate. So don't forget, for a comfortable night's sleep, both your pad and your bag should be rated for the temperatures that you're camping in.